Spence.
RK, Friday bets.
Friday bets, man. I love a good Friday bets. We're on a tight schedule here. We've been away for a few days. Apologies to those of you who have missed us. You're welcome to those of you who haven't. But the all dogs strategy has just been paying out. We're currently up to plus 16.5 units on the tournament.
It's amazing. It's truly amazing. And I deserve the misery that I got with not only putting Purdue in my fucking survivor, not only did I not bet the 16s and bet everything else and ended up pretty close to even. You told me, yeah, and I just didn't listen.
I know. So Spence and I were having this conversation the day before the tournament. He was like, yeah, you shouldn't put in the 16s, though. Like, just do the 11s through the 15s. And I was like, you got to do the 16s just in case.
And I missed out. Swing and a miss from your boy.
A lot of people don't understand how important the strategy of all this is. Like Parker, after the Princeton game, was like, "Oh, I accidentally didn't get that one in." I'm like, "You can't just accidentally not get one.
You're accidentally not winning now."
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, you're now down 8 units from the rest of us. So, anyways, it's been fun. We are. I don't want to jinx anything. Not to say that this is jinxable. This is a fact, but I don't want to set us off the rails. We are guaranteed profitability at this point. Significant profitability because there are only 4, 6, 7 games left and we're up 16 units.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that for you guys. Love that for myself because I did make a little money off of it.
Yep.
But yeah, the strategy is fun, and when you do a system bet like we talked about, you don't worry about it. Like you don't worry about being wrong. You're just doing something, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The whole system could be wrong, which it's not this year, especially
or last year.
But the overarching idea is you're just picking games, and you're just looking at the odds. You don't even have to look at the teams.
Nope. That's what yesterday Zach was like. What's your game of the night tonight? I was like, to be honest, I didn't even look at the games. I just pressed the plus sign.
And tonight's going to be tonight could be a huge night for that. Last night there was like a plus 110, there was like a minus 105.
Yep.
Tonight every game I believe is in between the 4 to 7, 8 point range.
I know. Yeah, we have a couple Princeton's plus 400, and I just think they're a really good basketball team. So I love having them at plus 400. It's tonight. Tonight could get fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We got Avs. We got college basketball. And you know what's kind of sad about tonight for me and you personally?
One of the rare times that we're ever rooting for different teams.
Correct. Maybe the only time. Because I always root for CU every sport.
Right.
If they're not playing my team.
I also always root for Iowa if they're not playing my team.
Yeah, so it's a real sad boy night tonight for either me or RK.
Yep.
Until the Avs start.
Eagles, Niners. We were against each other.
Yes, we were. That was more of just an uncomfortability against each other because of our girls.
Yeah. That was funny. Okay, what were you saying, Henry?
When Iowa lost, was that an upset? Were you cheering against that one?
Oh, no, Iowa was the dog.
Yeah, they were like plus 105. But they just choked City in the tournament. Caitlin Clark's not a choker, but the rest of the whole men's team is.
I will say, in tournament settings, counting on one player game in, game out usually doesn't work all the way to it comes to get you at some point.
Correct. So not tonight though. Hopefully
tonight
we'll
is
see.
the night. All right, let's do some big threes here since we're short on time. Why don't we start with Spence's?
All right, my big three tonight. So I'm going all sorts of different sports here. I did take Iowa women -6. They beat the 15 seed in the tournament by,
as you might predict,
by 52. Wow. And then they had a tough game the second round, but they ended up winning by 11. I just think I tried to find a Caitlin Clark prop, but there's no such thing.
They don't let you do player props in Colorado on college. It sucks.
Which is maybe smart, I guess, because of the inside info. I don't have any inside info on Caitlin Clark other than she's really fucking good.
College players are much more easy to corrupt.
Absolutely. I would know that from 4 years in college. And then my next one is going to be Dennis Malgin, anytime goal. I've been riding the Malgin train,
Mania, dude. I didn't know you were a member of the fucking Malgin Mania squad. I love Malgin.
I tweeted out the other night, Malgin greater than Malkin.
Yeah, I put that in our Slack 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Love.
Oh, yeah, my tweet got 2 likes. I was like, I thought it was sick.
I was one of your likes. So.
Oh, perfect. I had him the other night, first goal plus 1,400. He scores the second goal. I'm like, you motherfucker. But tonight, anytime goal. The Avs game tonight is kind of interesting because the Coyotes are hot, which is shocking.
Yep.
And the Avs kind of struggle against them in general. But as we got in the comments here, EJ and Cale are back tonight, which is like, I'm getting there. Like that's the Avs are getting there.
Don't
and
stop.
Yeah, don't stop now. Bring them all back. But yeah, Dennis Mulligan, I think this is like a 4-3 or 3-2 kind of game. I do think it's close. But I'll bet on my boy Dennis any day. 1N Dennis. And then my last pick, I jokingly said Xavier would win this tournament, and then now it's like they almost lost in the first round. They came back, ended up now they're in the Sweet 16 against a good Texas team. I can't stand any team from Texas and Scotty Scheffler, anything from Texas, the University of Texas, I'm out on. But they do score a lot of points, and Xavier's one of Xavier's best players. Unfortunately for me personally, is a Iowa transfer, Jack Nunge.
Shooter?
He's a big man. He's the big man. He got the game-winning block in the second round game. But that, I believe, is just going to be a score fest. We saw a lot of them last night. I mean, shit, the Kansas State game was like a NBA game almost, just back and forth, back and forth. I think the San Diego State game tonight will be a little bit of that boring against Alabama, but it's one of those contrasting styles. These two teams both like to score the ball, so I think 148 is a fair number.
I like that. That's good. Good analysis. All right, let's flip it over to mine, Yaya. That is Henry's from last week. CU women +6, minus 105. I took them with the points last game. I feel comfortable doing that here. Like I said, I probably should have taken the money line, because they are basically just banking on a Caitlin Clark off night. Like, if you just get her, whatever reason, she's off. I do like the fact that the Buffs have been on the road for the entire tournament, whereas Iowa has been at home. This is their first time traveling in the tournament.
That's a good point.
So, they're going to have to get used to new rims out there. We'll see what happens. I'm taking Princeton money line plus 400. I'm obviously taking plus everyone. I'm taking all the money lines, but I really like Princeton. Like, watching Princeton play ball, I'm like, this team, I think, is just really good at basketball. And I said that after the first game, and then they won the second game. So I like this team. They can shoot. They can really defend, which is kind of shocking. That's where you would think they would have an issue. Like, if they're going to lack athleticism, they're going to lack defense. But they don't lack defense at all. They've got interior presence. I love Princeton.
Princeton, massive D.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Massive smart D.
And then finally, Avs minus 1.5. The Avs have struggled with the Coyotes. Denver teams randomly struggle with all-city matchups.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's so annoying.
It's a lose-lose for us because our teams right now in every sport in the current sports are much better than all the other all-city teams. So if we glowed, they're like, oh, yeah, you should have beat us. And if we lose, it's like, oh, that's embarrassing.
Welcome to being a CU fan playing CSU anytime. And that's the case here. But I think the Avs get this one right. They're so hot right now.
Yeah, this is a big one for them. They coming off a loss to Pittsburgh. They kind of got, not embarrassed, but
they just didn't bring it.
Yeah, and then you're getting two guys back tonight. You're not going to have 85-year-old Jack Johnson probably skating around more than 7 minutes. EJ being back is going to be a huge uplifter for not only the defense, but like I see Arizona struggling to score at all tonight. So as long as the Avs put a couple in, I think that's a good bet there.
There we go. All right, if you're gonna get in on this stuff, get over to DraftKings Sportsbook to get in. There is so much good stuff over there, including just betting on underdogs. Although you're too late to join the party now, but they're giving out a 25% parlay boost tonight for Alabama and Houston, both to win by 5 or more. You've got a 16% profit boost for any college basketball game, so we'll talk about that in a second here. And then you can also get a 16% profit boost on any WGC Dell match play we can talk about here in a second.
Oh, okay.
So get over to DraftKings, use the code DNVR, and you sign up to get in on all of this great stuff. Of course, minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details, and if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right, Spence. So our dilemma of the day is this. We're betting on all dogs. Well, I am. Are you?
I'm going to ride tonight.
Okay.
Yes, especially after my first few drinks hit me.
There you go. We have a 16% boost. Which team? Oh, by the way, Dre and I have disagreed on this multiple times. The first time we disagreed, both of us got it right. The second time we disagreed, both of us got it wrong. Last night we decided to both go on Kansas State. That worked out well for us. So, who are we using our 16% profit boost on? What dog are we taking that on tonight?
Oh, man.
So there's a couple different lines of thinking here, right? Like Xavier, Texas, that's the closest matchup. Do you want 16% more of plus 160 because you feel like they have the best chance of winning that? Or are you like me, you love Princeton? They're also taking on Creighton. Like
Creighton, I saw them on Friday here.
Creighton can play, for sure.
Yes.
But
Cockbrenner is a fucking beast.
They're a mid-major team. The reason I bring that up is like they're not like if Princeton was taking on Texas or something, it's like, okay, well shit, they have to deal with all that size and, strength and athleticism and all that. Creighton, while they have very good basketball players, doesn't present the same challenges. So it's like, do you put it on them?
I'm going to actually reverse all the way back to the second game of the night, and that's Miami versus Houston. Houston's been a little banged up.
Dude,
and
Houston doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, Houston fully healthy is probably a really good team. I mean, they're a 1 seed, obviously, but Miami's like sneaky good. And I'm not a big Miami guy. Like everybody always thinks Miami's the greatest at everything. But that's
especially
I think
people from our era.
Yes, exactly. Like the old football teams and all that stuff. I'm going to go with the 16% profit boost on Miami.
Okay. Sadly, we disagree here. I'm going to put it on Xavier. I love that we're getting Xavier at plus 160 in the first place. Let me boost that up to a little bit higher than that. Let's see what it actually is with the boost.
Big East basketball is pretty dirty. They could conceivably have 3 of the Elite 8.
Yep. It's plus 185. That's like I think you're getting way too good a value with Xavier at plus 185.
Yeah, I mean, just it's all around solid basketball team. They've played. That's the thing is they've played tough competition all year. I'm not saying the Big 12 isn't good. The Big 12 is really good.
Yep.
But Xavier's not going to be this team that comes in and is like, oh, Texas. Like they're not scared of Texas. They've played Creighton. They've played who's the other biggest? They've played UConn. They've played teams that have gotten this far multiple times, and the Big East was an absolute bloodbath all season. So I think Xavier could win the whole tournament.
Let's go.
So I love that bet.
Let's go. All right. Before we get out of here, give us a 16% Dell match play.
Dude, the guy that's rolling right now is freaking Patrick Cantlay, bro. He scorched all 3 of his opponents moving into the Sweet 16, if you will. So I would go Patrick Cantlay, absolutely.
All right, there you go. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the dogs. We love the dogs. And enjoy the Nugget Show, which is coming up right after us. We'll see you guys later.